It'd just be an enormous feat to respond after that 4-0. I mean, the upper final, ladies and gentlemen, that was a shellacking. Vitality taking them to school here against K-Corp, but they've got to run it back. They've got to do it again in the grand finals. K-Corp will have to do it twice, however. The bracket reset is imminent.
Well, hopefully, as far as K-Corp fans are concerned, the Blue Wall will be thinking, yes, let's hope it is imminent. And Karmine Corp had a relatively simple journey in this double elimination bracket as they start off this first game well. Not too many difficult opponents in that upper bracket until they met Vitality and got 4-0'd by them. Then they return in the lowers, 4-0 Team BDS, but as we're seeing, CJ, Vitality are just built different.
It's just starting to not just feel like they're regional, they're split, but maybe their entire esport right now, Vitality. It could be them versus the whole world. And right now, everything going to plan. The 50-50s even finding their way into the net, opening it up here. Vitality and Alpha 54 being the veteran, if you would, of this team, which is crazy to say.
It's funny as well that Team Vitality, they come out in Zen's first regional, they win that. They win it the first time they've played with him. Then they come into the second regional and they look even better. There's even more shades to their game. You know, the first goal coming from a 50-50, they're not reliant on any one playstyle.
It sounds like we've said it 100 times by now, but they haven't lost the series yet. I don't know, we talked about the last series in the upper final as well. I mean, Zen was popping off. He was pre-jumping. He was going for dunks that turned into redirects downfield. I think that at this point, Cole, he's squashed all the concerns about him not being able to step up at this time, but the shot off the ceiling from Exotic has almost just at least kept us quite a little bit about this Zen hype.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Karmine Corp hype to contend with as far as Vitality are concerned, but Alpha's coming forwards, tries to juke and weave his way through all three Karmine Corp defenders. Hopefully what we've seen in this first 90 seconds is that KC won't be embarrassed by Vitality, the same way they were in that first series. They did have chances, but here's a chance for Radosinho, as he goes by in-game, or Radosin, as we know him here. Materia's touch is only as far as Alpha, who can't commit with the double. Itachi's coming forwards, and KC just having a few half chances here in the early days.
Yeah, they're getting settled into this game. The 50-50 first goal won't be something that they'll love. However, it just felt like, Viteri talked about it. He mentioned it on Twitter. I'm not sure about the correct translation. Johnny gave us 8 definitions of it, but it just seemed like they were in their own heads a little bit against Vitality. And this is what can it can happen against these top players, these top teams. You almost overthink every situation and stop playing your way. Fortunately enough, Cole, they've got they can run it back. This is a rinse and repeat. They get another crack at Vitality, but we need to see a better K-Corp than what we saw in that upper final.
I mean, if I tried to translate Johnny's Scottish tweets, I'd struggle even more than he did translating Vatira's earlier, so no harm done. Itachi's coming in, almost getting himself and Karmine Corp their first goal of the series. Is Exotic on the side. Radosin just trying to get this ball away. Vatira is there, and Karmine Corp so far have impressed me. They don't seem fazed by Vitality, and if Johnny's translation was correct, that they just get spooked every time they play the team in yellow, it doesn't seem to be happening here. There's a chance again for Vatira! Saved by Alpha, but more opportunities for Karmine Corp.
Vitality's defense has gone under the radar as well. I feel like we're always looking at their offense, the way that they can just pull a goal out of nowhere, but they've really been locked in defensively, and it's caused so many issues for K-Corp down that end. And again here, we're seeing the offensive pressure from K-Corp. They're stepping up, but they're just not quite finding a way through this Golden Hornets defense, and they're just got to leave it open down the other end. Radosin gets the second from Vitality as K-Corp just overcommit everywhere.
Vitality normally have all the pressure and all the ball, but in this game, there have been 7 shots for Karmine Corp, and that, CJ, is only the second for Vitality. Now, my maths isn't great, but that, to me, looks like at least a 99% hit rate.
This goes to show that Vitality are pretty flexible with their play style as well. They're playing this counter-attack style, perhaps knowing that K-Corp will be coming out swinging. They are the team that's warm. They just had that victory over BDS, and I mean, Vitality are handling it nicely here. I don't mind the counter-attack style. It's worked so far. 2 goals, 2 shots. And K-Corp need to get one back. They need to find some momentum, or it's going to start looking like that upper final again.
Ferra's whiteboard is currently glistening in the sunlight. It's amazing the team tactics have gone into Vitality, as you mentioned, CJ. The playstyle working perfectly for them. Counter-attack Karmine Corp. Let them get their frustrations out on you and then punish them as soon as their backs are turned. Working flawlessly up to now. Alpha's going to come forwards again. He gets underneath the balls, then turns it down, just lets Alpha go by himself. Solo play is still such a huge weapon for Team Vitality. And look at that read from Radosin. And when reads like that from the ceiling are working that well, you know it's your day, your tournament. Wow, but Exotic, his floor pinch wasn't bad either. Unfortunately for him, gets too much on it. Then Zen pitches it right back. That hits the post, and Exotic pips it to the side.
This is just different Rocket League right now. We're using the wall as a fourth teammate here, and the counter-attack maybe touching at the first. No, 50-50 by Zen. Vitality, it's Exotic, it's Zen, either side going for these pinch plays. I don't mind it. Trying to find an avenue into net, and Vitality's still 2-0 up, 20 seconds left. The counter-attacks couple have been working. Vatira almost out of position there with 15 on the clock, but this has been workmanlike from Vitality. They're happy to defend if it means they can score down the other end. Maybe Radosin from the heavens goes whack. And a third from Vitality. Is there anything this team can't do?
Oh, the pre-jump onto the ceiling, then the double, smash it home as well. A clean finish at the end of all that. Radosin, he may have dropped the Team Vitality decal, which I'm still slightly annoyed about Radosin, but my goodness, he hasn't dropped his skill levels.
Corp just don't have any answers now. They can't find an opening. They've had more shots than anything here. 7 in game 1, 4 to Vitality, but no goals on the board. And it feels like that upper final all over again. I don't know if they need a timeout here after game 1. But Vitality, they just have stepped up time and time again. They've got answers to all of K-Corp's questions.
Would you take the timeout now?
I'd take the timeout. I'd take the timeout game 1. They're not finding that style here.